so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness, which creates and animates all things. Now, of course, understanding this powerful truth is one thing. Applying this incredibly empowering wisdom to everyday life, well, that's another, which is exactly why we provide you with a fresh serving of soul food for thought 5 days a week to help constantly remind you of what matters most. You are it. And I'm your host, Brandon Beecham. I'm the reflection and extension of you who will be here each Wednesday interviewing a different consciousness changemaker. And on the other 4 weekdays, leading the way to ensure that your perspective is consistently expanded, your vibration is constantly elevated, and your heart is overflowing and full. All right, all you positive heads, welcome. I am back in the saddle over here. I missed you all so much last week as I made the transition into the Mystic Manor, and so appreciate Miss Erica Middle Miss holding it down while I was moving and getting set up and preparing for all the lovely folks that are going to start coming and, you know, staying for the full Mystic Manor immersion week-long retreats beginning, let's see, a week from today. Wow. Yeah. So July 15th, the first wave of folks are coming. And then, you know, every week thereafter with a few off in between. But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, you're listening, maybe you're a new listener and like, what is he talking about? Check out optimistic.tv, and mystic is spelled MYSTIC. Optimistic.tv, and you can see the video about the new show Optimistic that we're going to begin shooting on July 20th. Shaman Dirk is actually going to be the first, soul share, live soul share with a live studio audience, you know, all video production. We have Vajra, my favorite visionary artist, is going to be live painting. We have a Magica Om, who I'm going to play today, is going to be performing an amazing song. It's like, it's all coming together. So getting the bookings handled, and it's a lot. It's a lot of juggling. You guys have heard me talking about it over the months, and there are still spots available for those of you who are interested in coming either to a live taping, you know, on a Saturday evening. July 20th is the first one, then the 27th, and then I think 8/3 is next, August 3rd. But yeah, you can get tickets at optimistic.tv for the live taping or the full week immersion, which you know, we have space. I think the next few months are sold out. There is still some spaces available in September and November. And then, of course, as you go further out, you know, there's still week-long visits to the Mystic Manor available. So I would absolutely love you guys. This place is so magical. I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of prep here for us. And we're kind of working through it. I mean, I'm going from recording right now into a meeting to set up all the lighting on the stage. The stage is being built out as I talk downstairs. You may hear power tools. That's you know, curtains going up and, you know, all that jazz. So yeah, it's going to be really something super, super special, and hopefully more of you, you know, will reach out. And of course, you know, like I said, we're probably a third of or more of the spots. There's going to be 111 retreat spots, full week spots over the, you know, this month, July till July of 2020. And you can reach out to me, Brandon, at positivehead.com if you would like to chat about, you know, coming, and I can work out payment arrangements and all of that stuff with you. And so, yeah, super excited. That's been my world. And I'm just happy to be back recording. It's a little bit echoey. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm in a different space. I'm no longer in the same studio where almost 1,000 episodes of Positive Head was recorded, and so I definitely need to put some things up in here to help dampen the sound. So if you hear a little echo, that's what's going on. New space, new leaf, new chapter. So happy and excited to take the journey with you all. And today I want to talk about dealing with transitions and the pressure of transition. And I heard I saw an Abraham quote maybe a few days ago, and it really jumped out at me. It said, "Never complain about anything." And that's what I want to talk about today. It's like, wow, I realize how much I do complain about, things as the pressure is mounting. Over the last few months, I've done more complaining, than I have previously, because, it's like you go through these growth spurts as a human. And I think I grew to a point where I was pretty comfortable. There wasn't a lot of stress on me. And, I can go back to younger years where, I would get anxious or, stressed or that agitated energy. You guys have heard me talk about it before. And that's something that, over the last few years, I feel like it's really diminished because things are easy breezy. I have such an easy life and setup, and, I'm not stressed about money and things like that. And then you throw this into the mix, this huge financial commitment, producing this show over the course of the year, and this house, and all the things, the move and the timing of the retreats and the live taping, and new energies coming in that are helping to run the retreats and that I'm living with, and all the different new stresses that sort of have come in the last few months. And I've seen that I've definitely enjoyed at times the energy of complaining about it. It gets you attention about it. It's like at times I felt really alone fighting through all the challenges. And then when I had an ear, it's like, kind of complaining about it. And it's like, hold on, what are you doing? You're asking for more of the issue that is, you're really wanting to overcome, right? Like where attention goes, energy flows. And man, this stuff is so nuanced. I mean, it goes to show you can be talking about it all day, every day. I always say on the show, we teach best what we most need to learn, right? And, I'm living and breathing this subject matter and exploring it from all these perspectives and vantage points for years now, with you guys, and even prior to that. And then all of a sudden the universe says, okay, let's turn up the heat. Let's turn up the pressure cooker a little bit. And when you realize, like Richard Rudd said, the greater the pressure in your life, the more fortunate you are, right? Wow, that's mind blowing, right? How many of you out there have a lot of pressure? That's because you're the diamond in process, right? As Henry Kissinger said, a diamond is a chunk of coal that did really well under pressure. So, are you doing really well under pressure? Pressure can burst a pipe, or it can make a diamond, right? Which is happening. I know my pipe has burst a few times, but I've also made some diamonds, and I'm going to make more diamonds. And that stems to the whole idea of never complaining about anything. If I don't like something, giving energy to it in a complaining way, it's not the problem is, or here's what I'm mad about or agitated about. It's like, here's a challenge that there are no problems, only solutions. And yes, the pressure is increasing. Yes, my life is turned upside down in my case, and all the comfort and easy breeziness has been out the window. And it's juggle, paddle for your life, treading water. At times feeling like I need way more help, all those things. And why would I ever complain about it, right? Nikki Rose said, I love this one, the chaos doesn't end. You kind of just become the calm. And when you can start to move into that state of like, okay, I'm in it. I'm in the throes. This is the process. I'm deep in it at this moment. And yep, there's a bunch of pressure. And wow, that must mean I'm really, really fortunate. And I'm ready to handle that pressure. I can handle it. I'm able to handle it. I'm never given anything that I can't handle, right? Once you start really trusting that idea, if it's been given to you, it's because it's meant for you, and it's within the realm of you handling it and dealing with it and processing it and transmuting any of the stresses and tensions, right, around it. You guys have heard me talk about it a long time back. It just popped into my head right as I said that. Happy Gilmore. If you've never seen Happy Gilmore, there's like, Adam Sandler and this guy Chubbs is teaching him, and he's like, comes up behind him while he's teaching him how to golf, and he's like, just ease the tension, baby. Just ease the tension. And he's like, kind of like got his arms wrapped around Adam Sandler and helping him to do a putt, and it's like a little creepy and weird. And of course, Adam Sandler's character is like, ease it on someone else. Because, it's just, you have to see it if you haven't, but that's what we're doing. We're just here easing the tension. That becomes our aim in every interaction, every challenge that comes our way. How can we be like Chubb said and just ease the tension, baby? That is the approach. And deep breathing, of course, is one of the things that is such a powerful tool that we're not using. And, a lot of times, if you'll notice, you can't be in an agitated state if you're taking slow, deep, steady breaths. Typically, if you're agitated or feeling pressure or anxiety or any of those things, you are basically, if you pay attention, you're going to be breathing really shallow. So Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, changing your state. Get up, shake the energy out, hold your arms over your head, do 10 deep breaths, do some of these things. And it actually changes the brain chemistry, the physiology, you think about, a lot of times stress can become from lack of abundance, right? Or fear of, running out of a resource, finances, whatever it may be. Well, when you understand that, breath is this thing that is infinitely abundant, and it's the most important thing that we do, right? You can go, 4 minutes. You can go, let's see, hold on, let me get this right. You can go like 40 days-ish without food, ish. Or once again, you have all kinds of stories of breatharianism and everything else. But typically speaking, 40 days without food, 4 days without water, 4 minutes, without air, right? And yet it's the most abundant thing there is, right? That's the one we're paying for our water. We're paying for our food. The most abundant, powerful thing that you can't go any amount of time hardly without is air, and it's still free. It's still completely free, and it is your symbolism of the abundance that's always just floating all around you, infinitely abundant, infinitely free. So if you're tapping into your breath, notice any of you out there who daily are dealing with agitation and stress, start using that as a real simple tool. Okay, I'm here to disrupt this habit that I've gotten myself into, and I'm going to use a simple little tool of deep breathing just to see how I can throw it off, how I can step into a new way of interacting with these challenges and seeing them as blessings, right? Our challenges, our triggers are our treasures. Our challenges are blessings, right? And when you start getting that, you start approaching them in a different way. And it's easy breezy to forget it. I forget it and at times, but then I remember. And every moment is about rediscovering this stuff in your now, as this next clip I'm about to share talks about. I found this one. It's called The Secret for Relaxing in Stress Situations. And it's Abraham-Hicks, of course, and who I share a lot of the time with the clips that I share because so good. This one's excellent. Let's take a listen.
So I came to the LA seminar, and before coming, I had a lot of problems, and I was determined about getting on the hot seat and talking about my problems, and didn't work out that way. But as the chat went on, I was less eager to talk about my problems. I just found myself saying, I don't really want to go up there now and talk about my problems anymore. And then I kind of gave up and I stopped raising my hand because I'm like, I don't want to go up there and talk. It started to just feel better and it moved. And I'm like, fuck this. This is... So I'm just happy right now. This is cool. So afterwards, I just kind of like very gently. I didn't have a lot of drive to get into alignment, but I realized that I didn't want to fix my stuff. I just wanted to find a different state from which to look at things.
That's a powerful statement, because when you decide you're going to fix it, you fixate on it and increase it and add another engine to that end of the train.
Right. So I was very gentle with it and kind of riding on the wave of the seminar. The following week, I turned around so many amazing things, literally like things that I've been working on for a lot of time just started to click, and people would tell me, perfect timing for this. This is working out great. I'm like, wow.
That's always the state that you're in. You have a whole lot of things piled up in your vortex ready for you to allow them in. But it takes some shifting of the level of your resistance for them to get in. And so you understand all of this perfectly, don't you? You heard the words, they sort of made sense, then you lived the experience which emphasized and compounded the words, and now you have an understanding that's even more than before, because words don't really teach. It's life experience, yes?
Yeah. So some things started to really respond in my life. And then as things got a little more specific, I started noticing myself falling off the wagon a little bit. And just to add another section you're gonna have to edit out, I just don't wanna fuck it up too much. So some of these subjects...
Well, what is it about our words you can't get it wrong that you can't hear? One of the reasons that we wanted to have this conversation with you is because a lot of you, as you listen to us talk about being a deliberate creator, you get overly aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. It makes you guarded rather than flowing. Mm-hmm. And that's why we began to, instead of calling this the science of deliberate creation, we began calling it the art of allowing, because we wanted to put more emphasis upon you understanding that your work is, you got to understand from everything that we've said already today, that your vortex is full of stuff you want, and you just don't have to struggle over that anymore. Mm-hmm. So the whole conversation is, how do I prepare myself for the receiving of the inspiration or the intuition or the instinct or whatever you want to call it, to be in the right place at the right time? How do I prepare myself? How do I prepare my receiver? It's like the broadcast tower is already got it going on, and it's broadcasting in a powerful way. And therefore, I no longer need a lot of contrast to figure out what I want. I don't need a lot of conversations with a lot of people to determine what I want. I've got a vortex full of things that are ready to pop for me. How do I get myself ready for what's ready for me? That's the question that you want to ask. How do I get ready? How do I get ready? And even a conversation about how I thought I would complain, but I decided not to complain, is still a conversation that's not very valuable to you. Don't spend too much time psychoanalyzing it or overanalyzing it. Now, if you have stories to tell yourself or others about the things that were clicking into place, those are really good stories to tell. And one of the things, because of those who are having experiences like you are having, that we've begun doing, we're asking you to just chill out more. In fact, sometimes we think that the fewer words that we are offering to you, then the less psychoanalytical you'll be about your own life experience. When you begin saying things like, I don't want to mess my experience up, that tells us you're thinking too much about it. And there is a fine line between being a deliberate creator and being so fussy about what you're doing that you're shooting yourself in the foot by overanalyzing things, you see. You have so many things that are flowing to you and through you. It's just a matter of relaxing and allowing them to flow. Really, there isn't anything more for you to do right now. You don't need to think more about what you want. You don't need to make long lists of what you want. You don't even need to define what you want, because your vortex understands it and your inner being does too. You just want to be ready to recognize it as it comes, which means just look for the positive aspects. You do that. Appreciate the good things that come to you. Don't try to teach a lot of others about it, because then you get all mixed up in their energy. And that's part of the thing that happens with you in the industry that you're in. There's a lot of conversation about what's not working all around you. And there's a lot of wanting to get attention. That's part of the reason that you want to talk about it. You want to get attention about it, you see. But what you want to do, here's a really good thing to understand. You don't seek any attention whatsoever unless you know for sure you're flying high. And when you're flying high, look for all the attention you can get and then watch what happens. And if you're not flying so high, then lay a little low. Good enough?
I have one little clarification on something. Maybe it'll tie in. But my favorite book has been Ask and It Is Given. And I really found it by such a wonderful convergence of factors. It fell in my lap. And I could never really wrap my mind, probably I'm overthinking it too, around the word given. I always saw this creative process as I am tuned in, therefore is around me. And when I think of given, it kind of implies some kind of like external that throws me off a little.
Well, we mean it exactly that way because universal forces come into being on your behalf at an extraordinary proportion. Did you think it should say, ask and I will earn it? Ask and I will dig it up myself, all by myself, and I will get all 100% of the credit for it? Did you think it was ask and I will find where it's buried in the backyard and nobody will ever know? Ask and it is given means ask and the universe will yield to me the precision of that which I ask for. Ask and it is given. We would like it to be a longer title. Ask and it is given immediately and in precise proportion to the power with which I ask. By the non-physical energies of the universe who know where everything is in relationship to what I'm asking for. Who also know all cooperative components. Who know every piece of the unfolding of this. So when I ask, it is given. It is given. It is given. But the reason that throws most people is they say, well, I've asked, where is it? I've asked and you say it's been given or it is given. Where is it? And we say, it's in the vortex. Where are you? And you say, I'm out here. I want it to come out where I am. We say, then you have to put on your vibrational eyes so that you will be able to see what has been given. And you say, but I thought you were just going to give it to me. And we say, it's given. Now you have to translate it into the physical equivalent, you see. You have to translate that which has been given into the things that you want. It's a much longer title than people want. But is that helpful?
Very much so. I really am overanalyzing, trying to find solutions where the better attitude for me, I guess.
So do you think that you didn't believe that when you asked it was given?
I believe that when I asked, the world reflects it already. So it already kind of is around me. But then my attitude was more kind of figuring out how to get there somehow. So it was still tricky. I didn't have trouble with the universe, with the given in the sense of it's projected onto me, but it implied kind of like an external force wanting to give versus...
You see, you're making a really strong point, and we want to chew on this just a little bit, because while you are consciousness and while you are the creator of your own reality, it's a much more accurate statement to say you are more than you know yourself to be, and you are the co-creator of your own reality. It would even be more accurate to say you are the vibrational attractor of your own reality. You are the receiver of your own reality. You are the contour of the energy which allows your own reality. And so we use a lot of different words, and we've offered a lot of different processes to help you to understand that it's not an easy thing to go from someone who's been using your physical senses to understand your world to being asked to understand vibrations that you can't see, that you can only feel to understand your world. We know that's a lot to ask, and yet until we ask it, it isn't given. And until you do it, then you have no consistency in the way you are able to orchestrate your own life experience. And so words are tricky and interesting because people use the same words and mean different things. And that's why we come at it from so many different directions, because we're wanting you to find the resonance with what you really know. The thing that we count on, the thing that we know for sure, is that you are a source energy being in this physical body, and the part of you that knows this stuff is much more dominant than the part of you that is blocking it. And so we know that as you are willing to listen to our descriptions and listen to our explanation, that bit by bit you come into full resonance with what you know. And it isn't that you remember it, it's that you rediscover it in your now. It's that your life reflects it back to you over and over again. We really like it when we can have a conversation which activates some powerful questions within you, because we know that once a powerful question is activated, that your life is going to yield to you the answers to it. So more answers come to you in the days and weeks that follow an event like this than actually happen in the event. What mostly happens in the event is a vibrational shifting. And then that vibrational shifting is what causes you to be different in the world. Your point of attraction only has to shift a little bit in order for you to have a whole set of differing experiences. And then our desire is that you then make the correlation between your shifting and what comes. And we want you unequivocally to take credit for your shifting. And that's the point that you're trying to make here with us. You don't want to say, ask and somebody else has given it to me.
Exactly, yeah.
You want to say, I'm going to achieve a vibrational vantage point, and by the natural laws of the universe, this consequence is going to come. And that's how it comes. And we take your point and we agree with it completely.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks a lot.
When you decide you're going to fix something, you fixate on it and it increases it. I love that. That was good. When you don't fix it, you don't need to fix anything. Don't fixate on it. It will process and flow. The art of allowing, she talked about. It's already been fixed in the vortex. It's already in the eternal now. It has already been dealt with, worked through, processed, and you've moved on, right? That has already happened in the future, which really doesn't even exist because it's all happening in the eternal now. That's just like a channel you haven't tuned into yet, right? So you move into this art of allowing, like you don't need to fixate on it, trusting that it's going to work through based off of the state of you allowing and trusting. And think of every issue you've ever faced and you have found your way through it, right? Every single thing that was the end of the world to you 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, this event, this thing. Oh, wow, it's so massive. Now it's not even a memory hardly. You know, you can look back and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, right? At the time, it seemed so huge. So our aim is to really stop making mountains out of molehills and realizing the more we can do that, the more we level up. The more we level up, the more exciting our experiences get. The more big time levels we step into of reality co-creation with our higher self. The more of our higher self we're allowing to work and exist through us, right? Your question is always, how do I get ready to allow it to come? The solution's already there. How do I get ready vibrationally to allow it to come? And that's really the key, right? Is managing your vibration. Look for the positive aspects of what's going on. Don't try and force others, teach others about it who don't want to hear. That just takes you under their vibration and throws you off your game. You're not here to save anyone but yourself, right? Respect their process and ability to find their way to these ideas in their own divine timing, right? Don't seek attention about your problems. I've done a lot of that. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so stressed. Let me tell you about it, right? Don't seek attention unless you're flying high. If you're not flying high, lay a little low, right? You have to put on your vibrational eyes to see it in the vortex. Your job is to translate it into the physical equivalent with your vibration. You are the receiver here. You're the conjurer of your reality. You rediscover this stuff in your now, she said. It's not even so much a remembering. You rediscover it's already here waiting for you, right? Such a powerful truth, such a powerful and relevant teaching for me at this transitionary time is I know I've talked about this a lot lately because, well, that's what I do on this show. What's coming through? What's happening in my world? How can I share it? And hopefully co-create some perspective shifting for myself and those of you who are extensions simultaneously. I'm an extension of you. You're an extension of me. So I can only imagine many of you are facing similar things on a different level, right? We're all just reflections. It's all mirrors around here, as I like to say. And those of you who are tuning into this broadcast are close soul family, close reflections. And I love you so, so much. And I so appreciate all the support and all the good vibes that have been being sent my way. And, those of you especially who have chosen to support the Mystic Manor early. And, the 40 some out of the 111 who have already signed up and prior to even seeing anything. Like I said, once the show actually comes out, I feel like, it's the rest of the spots are going to go really quickly because it's going to be what's going to be shown and reported is so epic. And, those of you who've been thinking about it, now would be a good time to reach out, Brandon at positivehead.com. I would love to work out a way to get you here. In the meantime, this is the first song that's going to be on Optimistic that's going to be played. It's by Magica Om. And she's going to be performing this live on episode 1 of Optimistic. So I thought I would just go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek of the song. Dreams are real. I'm so grateful to be living this dream to reality that we are co-creating together. Thank you all so, so much for showing up. Until next time, journey well. Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to let you all know that we have finally created the Game with the Universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind, and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time by doing this manually. But now, if you go to positivehead.com/YO universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and grandest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to engage and invite friends, family, people on social media to check out the podcast as well. So be sure to check out positivehead.com/YOUNIVERSE, and be sure to tell all your friends so they can play a game with the universe, which also helps the show to reach new people, which I greatly appreciate. And as a quick reminder, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them every day. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I can't stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so, and I'm sincerely excited to share it with all of you. Lastly, if you're craving more consciousness elevating content, be sure to check out Gaia, which is my personal go-to source for streaming consciousness content on the web, where you can stream an incredible 7,000 plus exclusive videos covering 5,000 years of wisdom. As you all hear me constantly say, it's a daily conscious effort to maintain an elevated vibration. And if you're looking to journey deep down the rabbit hole to do so, then Gaia is the best place I know of to do it, period. And you can sign up for your first month for only 99 cents at gaia.com/positivehead. That's spelled GAIA.com/positivehead. Check it out.